Hey there, Heather Boyd Wire here, and welcome to day 2 of the 10-day wire bracelet making challenge. So if you're participating in the challenge, you can see the details below in the description. You can either participate on Facebook or you can participate on Discord. Today's video is inspired again by some of my earlier work. These are bracelets that I made before I even got started using the silver wire for the different little figures and stuff. And so this is just a brass wire. Today I'm going to use copper, but you can use brass. It's nice and stiff, and basically it's all like one piece of wire with the hook and the loop that are kind of made with the same wire. And this one I actually combined some other electrical wire and stuff, so you can add pieces and do all kinds of squiggly forms. And this bracelet is going to be free form. You can add beads or not. So for this project, I'm using 18 gauge wire, a variety beads, and my tools. So you need quite a long piece depending on how much detail you want to add to it. So what I'm going to do to start is just to make the loop on one end. So start a couple inches from the end and just bend it on a right angle, and then get your larger round pliers and pull it around and just make a decent size loop here. This is going to be what you're going to loop the hook into, and so just do that and wind this around a few times. This design I made up before I knew anything about jewelry making. I was just winging it, and I'm pretty well going to follow the same pattern that I did when I originally made these. So I haven't made a bracelet like this in probably 30 years. But let's go. So here we go. So we're going to just pinch in the end so it's not sticking out, it's not sharp. And then basically what you need to do at this point is just decide on how big your bracelet is going to be. So I'll do the same thing I did in yesterday's video, where I'm just going to wind it around here. And then probably the easiest thing to do would be to try it on your own wrist to get an idea of how big you want to make it. And don't worry, you don't have to pull it over your hand, because you're going to actually make a hook. So say we decide to do it about that size. So that means the hook has to bend at that point. So you will actually want to make it a little longer than that, because you're going to bend the end back. So I would go another ½ inch from there, ½ to 3/4 of an inch, depending on how big your hook's going to be. And then we're just going to bend this back. So you see what we have so far. We have the loop and we have this part, and we're just going to bend this here and then pinch this a little bit so it's kind of more pushed together here. So there we have that. And then basically the hook is going to have to hook into here. So what I usually do for that is I actually take this end and bend it back just a little bit to give it a little bit of a lip. And then we're going to take our larger round pliers and bend it around here. So this forms your hook, which is going to hook into the bracelet. And then at that point you can adjust it a little more if you want to, but that's going to be your basic hook. And then from there we have to wind this wire around. So hold this with your flat pliers and then bend this around a few times. So we're just going to go in and bend it a few times around just to secure it in place. So this is the basis for the bracelet, and from here you can just have all kinds of fun with it. So depending on what you want to do, and depending on also how much wire you have. So what I did for this one is I kind of looped it just very loosely around. This was a very stiff wire. You're probably going to want to use as stiff wire as you can find. This one I did a few more spirals and stuff. So you can just play around with it, and you might want to make a few of these. You can open this up a little bit if you have trouble getting in there, and then see if you just kind of wind it loosely, you're going to get a nice kind of loose loop around the wire, which is kind of cool because you don't want it to be too kind of perfect. So if we just go loosely around, you might want to actually use a longer wire. I'm going to not do too much detail for now for fear that I'm going to actually run out of wire, but this is, I've cut a 3-foot piece, so you keep that in mind when you're making yours, like how much wire you're going to need. So now if you want to add some beads to there, now would be a good time. So you can just choose whatever beads you want. Maybe I'll get one of my favorite miracle beads and we'll stick it on the wire. And it's nice to do a variety of sizes. So say you're going to put you want the bead to sit away from the wire a little bit. You can just take this and wind the wire around the bead. Now this is where you can just really use your whimsy, and you can wind it around a couple of times if you want. So kind of wind it here and then wind it behind. So it depends on, you know, how flexible your wire is, what sort of effect you're going to get. If you need to make the round part first, just use your thumb and your finger just to kind of loosely go around there. So you can just kind of go around it a few times. And then you can, when you need to secure it to this wire again, you can go ahead and do that as well, because you're going to have to like keep kind of adding it to here a little bit more. And then if you do want to do a spiral without a bead in it, you can just kind of go around like this a few times. And if you even wanted to begin with, you could have put a few beads on there to begin with as well, and that would have been super nice as well. So there's really so many possibilities for this. There's just so much you can do, and if you wanted to put a few beads on there, you can definitely go, and I can just kind of see what kind of beads I have. Here's a little cute little heart bead that might be nice if it's going to fit on there. We're going to see. So you can just kind of go in there and stick that one on. Okay, we'll just stick it in here. See how it's going to look. So the heart's kind of cute. There's really, you know, any amount of things you can do with this design. And then if you want to kind of go back, you can do that. Or if you want to, like, the idea I think is just to make it as secure as possible. So just keep going in there and bring this around here. I have a feeling we're going to add some other beads and wire to it if you want. You know, you can just do whatever you like with it. So we're going to go around here. We can kind of crisscross it a little bit. Just really have fun with it. You can kind of do kind of like an infinity sign type of thing here. And we can bring it up here. I'm really just like winging it, totally winging it with this. So, and then if you find you're running out of wire and you want to just like kind of bring this to the end a little bit, you can. So let's just do that. We're going to come down here and then I'm going to add another wire. So I'll show you how you could do that after. So I'm going to just bring this down here, do a little cheat, bring it right down. Okay, and then I'm going to clip it and push that end in. And then, you know, I don't find it super finished, so I can go in and grab some more wire. So I cut another 18 inches of wire, and I'll just go ahead and bring it over here and wind it around a little bit just to get it in place, and then wind this one around a little bit. And then from there, you can decide, you know, if you want to put some more beads or not. So if I bring that in here, and maybe I'll just kind of do another spiral. I like the way the spiral looks, so we're just going to bring it around and spiral it up again and bring this over here and down here. And if you want to go into that area, you can go into there, kind of like weave it in a little bit. Yeah, this is just extremely freeform. You're going to have a lot of fun with it. There's so much you can do. So we can add more beads here. Here's a nice chunky one. It's kind of fun when there's some like big beads on there. So you can go ahead and stick a big bead right in there and then maybe wind it around like that. And you can just keep building on it. If you don't like the way it looks, you can pull it back a little bit. There's so many things you can do. I'm going to add maybe a couple of little ones. So I'm going to add a little gold spacer bead on there, and then we can add a red, another miracle bead that I love. Just keep going with it until you're happy with how it looks. And the strategy too is to find a good place to end the wire. So once you're sort of at the end of your wire, you can just cut it off. So bring it around to the back and then cut it in a place that it's not going to be sticking out. And then you can always like go in and push it in with your flat pliers to make sure it's not pokey. So there we go. So we're really building it up there. There's so much you can do with it. I'm just playing around. We can add some more beads on here to see how it looks. You can add some different colors if you want. There's really so many things you can do with this. I'll add another gold one on there just for fun, and I think I'm gonna stop soon and just finish it off to show you guys how to do it, and then you guys can just like go nuts with it and have fun. So we're gonna bring this on here and bring this around here, and you don't have to use up all your wire, but you know, the more wire you put on, the stronger the piece is going to get. And then when you decide where you want to finish it, just clip it off. See, I didn't really pick any particular place to clip it off. And then you have this chunky monkey kind of design. You can play around with it a little bit if you want. And then the idea is you fold it to the kind of like bend it around to the shape you want. It's very malleable, and then it just goes like that. And that is your very artsy bracelet. And like I said, just sculpt it how you want. If you want to add more wires, you can add more wires on there and just make it as fancy as you like. So thanks so much for watching the video. Give it a big thumbs up if you liked it. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for lots more DIY wire art and jewelry making videos. Hit the notification bell to be notified when I go live and when I post new videos. And if you'd like to share photos of your wire work, be sure to join the Wire Art and Jewelry Makers Club on Facebook. And if the challenge is already over, no problem. You can still hop over to Facebook and join the community. Or if you don't have Facebook, you can hop into the Discord community there as well. And also, if you'd like to check out my wire art and jewelry on Etsy, my husband and I specialize in custom wedding cake toppers and funky jewelry. And I also have a mailing list, so I'll link that up below. And if you sign up for the mailing list, I'll send you my free Wire Art Essentials ebook. So thanks again for watching. If you're participating in the challenge, good luck, have fun with it, and we'll see you the next time.